to have you here. So today is the first week of the month. And then not only do we have English interpretation, but we have Cambodia and Cantonese. So we are very grateful, and I like to stay with you because you have positive energy. So no matter where you are, please stay with us and help us to spread the link and to those who spoke those language. So on April 25th, Master Zhenyan told us that hopefully with multinational language, we can be all connected. And then on the screen, you can see there is a poster that we are looking for. We are looking for those who are capable and able to do the translation for us. Because Master Zhenyan said that not only do we need to do the interpretation, but hopefully we can record all the messages, and so that more and more people, they can understand about the Tzu Chi. Because we start from the interpretation, and we have many team members who can do the interpretation. And now we are looking for more people that they can do the translation for us too, so that we can keep all the good sharing. So if you know someone is able to do this job, please connect us. And of course, we are welcome. You can join and to participate in this translation. Actually, we just started interpretation last year in April, and then not very long ago, when we came back to Hualien to meet with Master Zhenyan, she encouraged us that we have to invite more people to join the translation, to record all the message and all the sharing. And then we were encouraged. So we are going to move on this goal. So last year, when we were asked to start the interpretation, in the first beginning, I thought we couldn't do it because it's kind of difficult. But we moved forward the first step, and now it's after 1 year. We have more than 8 different languages. So on April 23rd, when we back to Jingsi Abode to meet the Master Zhenyan, she said that after 1 year, we did a pretty good job on the interpretation. So hopefully we can extend and to improve and to promote to the translation too. So this is a Master Zhenyan's expectation. Actually, translation is a little bit easier than interpretation, because doing the interpretation that you have to do it online right away, and doing the translation you can have more time. So we will start from the guided reading presentation. So we start from October 29th, and we have the online meeting with different team members from different countries. And then we have so many suggestions from different countries. They give us a very good comment. So then we make a conclusion and we decided start from guided reading presentation. So if you are online right now, please pass this message to those who might be able to do the translation. We are more than welcome to have more people to join us. Maybe we are not be great in the first place, but after practice, we can be great. So right now from the screen, you can see these are the message that we received yesterday. It's a Cambodian translation. And this is the content that the presenter later on she will give us her presentation. This is it's a manuscript. And then we have a group that they can study the content and maybe make a slightly change so that the translation team can do a good job. So let's give them a big hand. And right now we have 6 different language who can do the translation. And we hope that there will be more different language. So let's work together and hopefully we can spread more love and to more people. So if you know anyone who knows language, please invite them to join us. On 23rd, Master Zhen Yan encouraged us that like in Australia, we have a participant not only do they do the interpretation in English, but they also join the Cantonese group. And Chen Huilin from Australia, she said that actually Master Zhen Yan was holding our hands step by step. And we should be grateful that we have this opportunity and can contribute can do the contribution. So through the interpretation and the translation, we can learn more about the Tzu Chi. So please give yourself a big hand and welcome to join us. So let's make an introduction for the first week interpretation team. This is our Kaohsiung team member. Thank you for those volunteers' dedication. And then this is the Cantonese interpretation team. And you may see some faces familiar because they were from English team as well. So they are more than they are close to 90 participants for the English, Cantonese, Cambodia, Japanese. So this Cantonese interpretation team, some of them are from English, and this is Cambodia. So those are from the same family. So when we have the meeting about the translation service on October 29th, volunteer Xie Mingxun he said that we can do the translation right away. So you can see earlier the Cambodia translation was from this team group. We really feel grateful and appreciate their hard work. I thought we might just start the translation next year, but the volunteer Xie Mingxing, he said that we can start right away. So we feel grateful that Master Dalin gave us a summary about the Master Zhenyan's teaching when we meet the Master Zhenyan on October 23rd. And the point is mainly because we have a many young generation join us, and the Master Zhenyan feel grateful too. So you are invited to join us because gradually everyone can be a talent. And today I would like to introduce our team member. Those are the team member who took the pictures. Maybe you may ask why we need so many people to take the pictures. It's because we would like to take every detail and every touch moment, the picture. And like this is our team who doing the graphic design. And then those are the wisdom words, a very nice quote, can encourage us to move ahead. We appreciate the volunteers' hard work little by little. So now we go to the next section. This is the feedback that we received last week. And you are welcome to tell us, no matter where you are, just let us know where you are. So last week we received a message, over 300 message, and the Passover for resharing 61 times. So we thank you for the advanced technology. Actually, with everyone has the cell phone. You are more than welcome to pass over and transfer the link to the people and the friend you know. So this is the feedback on the teamwork. And then this is the feedback on the volunteer from France. It's very grateful that even during the COVID-19 pandemic, volunteers still dedicated themselves helping the victims because of the explosion in Lebanon. And then someone said that great love has no boundaries, no race, no religions. And thank you for the wonderful sharing. So Tzu Chi volunteers work with the local organization to help the victims because of the explosion. And thank you for Tzu Chi volunteers' effort. Whenever there's a disaster, we always can see the Tzu Chi volunteers help. And then we can see the feedback on the presenter from the guiding reading presentation. There are so many feedbacks. Chen Zhongming is a very good disciple for Master Zhenyan and a role model. Although his life has many difficulties, but as long as he has a Dharma teaching in his mind, he overcome all the difficulties. So everyone give Chen Chongming a best wishes. And then we have a feedback on the young assistant professor Wu Jinghui from Tzu Chi University. Many feedbacks from mainland China. And many said that although Jinghui was raised by a family, and although her mom and himself was abused, but fortunately, after he met Tzu Chi, he changed his life. And there's a good example like volunteer Si Jing and Wen Qing. They met each other in university, and then they got married, and then they never fight. It's a very good example. So you can see that the last week we heard so many stories. And the volunteer Jinghui, he said that after he received lots of feedback, he was so touched and he feel grateful. Although he did not come to Kaohsiung to make the presentation, it's just through the online, and he was so touched. And although we are just like the little fireflies, but after so many fireflies accumulated together, we can still bring the light to anyone to benefit others. And then this is the feedback from China, from volunteer Liu Juan from China. So doing the contribution on environmental protection after retirement is great. Because she always carrying the gratitude, contentment, and understanding and forgiveness. No wonder she looks so beautiful. And then we have the feedback on the group from Gangshan. The teamwork works so well. So seeing elder people so energetic is very inspiring. Although we couldn't read every message, but we will forward this PowerPoint to every one of you. And then the feedback on the charity work sharing. As usual, we have the feedbacks. So no matter where you are, through the different medium, we can learn and share and join together. So this is a message from Canada, from thank you for Mei Nao, and thank you for Guo Liangjun. So your message is very encouraging and inspiring. They enjoy, they like Wu Jinghui's sharing. And this is feedback from China. If you mix in the first place, actually you can revisit. You can revisit the Facebook and watch it later. So some message from mainland China, from different city, from different province. Thank you very much. And this is from Malaysia. Thank you. Thank you for those volunteers give us the feedback. We quite often we can receive their message. Thank you very much. And then and there's a different country like from Thailand or from Cambodia and from Indonesia, and then a message from Taiwan. Thank you. Thank you. And you are welcome to leave the message in English as well. So like Sharon, she said that as I interpret Brother Jinghui's sharing, I almost feel like crying from his touching story. And she said that Jinghui was so brave and so strong. So although he walked a different journey, he come back to help others as well as promoting vegetarian and share Dharma and the master's teaching with others through book study. Keep going. And Sharon said that Jinghui's presentation is very inspiring. And to benefit others. So Sharon is from Australia, is our team member as well. And then Irene in Malaysia, she is the interpreter of Cantonese. And she left the message. She said, "I'm so happy to see elderly Buddha using clothes to make a little memento gifts and inspire other elders Buddha to exercise and the moments of joy to be together." And she said this is grateful that because elders Buddha, they can make a good use of all the recyclable items. And now you can see the message we received from YouTube. And like Effie from Malaysia, she gave us a message quite often. Thank you for her efforts. Like there's one, she said that I truly hope to emulate the experience of these caring volunteers in Taiwan communities to my local area. And good to learn so much today. Treat every elders that we met as our own parents with genuine love. So join online study group, actually you can gain so much positive energies. So let's give them big hands. And now you can see this is Elizabeth from Malaysia. She joined the picture for every speaker. It's so real. Like, so everyone was so grateful. And now we're going to call out. We're going to the next section. We're going to call out.
来到莫桑比克库拉大爱村，2户样品屋已完工，大家忙着验收和优化房屋的品质。
大爱村的设计上面，我们参考的是联合国人居署 UN Habitat 它的整个抗灾的规格，我们把它再做一个优化，更加的贴心。所以我们在每一栋房屋都配置了一个1500公升的雨水收集桶，避免每天要往返村口的水井呢去取水。
So now we're going to call out. This is the Mozambique. The film is telling us that after the big disaster a couple years ago, Tzu Chi volunteer we can see now we have the Tzu Chi volunteer from our Miss Cai Dailin can report from Mozambique. You can see this very serious student in Mozambique. You still remember that how serious the storm destroyed Mozambique last year. You can see from the video now. Even during the pandemic, we know that the aid construction programs still going on, and now they have a reconstruction committee from Mozambique. Our volunteers process the reconstruction committee there, and the principal is our volunteer, Miss Cai Dailin. And today we are going to see her report. And from this video, you can see, besides our volunteer, Miss Cai Dailin, she also recruits some people, some young volunteer, and they also come back to Taiwan to learn the more skill, so they can do their volunteering jobs better there. Now we are going to invite our volunteer, Miss Cai Dailin. And now she's not in Mozambique, she comes back to Taiwan. So we invite her to share the reconstruction program to us. We like to be with you because you're positive. You always give us positive energy. Hello everyone. Hello everyone from Kaohsiung Online Studying Group. It's my pleasure to sharing you the progress in Mozambique. Thank you for joining me. Thanks to you that I have the opportunity to share our reconstruction program. Now you can see the picture. This is from our Dalin village in Sofara province in Africa. Last time I shared you the progress, how we built the school, but today I'm going to sharing you the progress, how we devote ourselves for the Dalin village in Sofara. Due to the typhoon, the storm damage, local people, they don't have many choice but stay in a tent. But our Tzu Chi Foundation helped them to build the Dalin village now. So you can see from the picture, we are building the house for them. It's more stable and more with concrete, so can resist the storm damage. This year, in September 24th, you can see many volunteers there. They all work together. And our volunteer, Mr. Dino, he invites volunteers and the local people to join us. And we can see this is our groundbreaking ceremony. So for this ceremony, volunteer Mr. Dino started to invite the local people and communicate with the local government team and coordinate. He represent our Tzu Chi volunteer to coordinate and distribute the work together with our volunteers. And we have 14 volunteers from Maputo, from Maputo, and they work together with other volunteers in Sabara province. And the director of our reconstruction committee, you can see from this picture, he is Mr. Qi, and actually he's important people with reputation in local, but he left behind all of his work and joined us. He's with happiness. And the reason why he devoted himself in this reconstruction program, that's because he has been to Taiwan in 2009, and he is grateful that he has the chance to come to Taiwan to meet our Master Zhen. So he tells us that it's like a dream come true, because in 2019 he has the chance to come to Taiwan to learn and to meet our Mr. Zhen, and he promised that he will devote himself in the charity and this construction program. So it's a dream come true for him. In this picture, you can see the tent and the volunteer, Miss Erica. She is our accounting, but she also responds to the decoration of this ceremony, and it's her very first time, but she designed this heart-shaped for the groundbreaking ceremony. And she tells us why she chose the shape as heart, because it's a heart, very important. Everybody has a heart, and if we devote ourselves with caring heart, we can do everything. So she say we get love from our Mr. Zhen, and we need to share the love to local people too. That's why she chose the heart shape for this groundbreaking ceremony. And no matter how far Mozambique is, no matter how far the distance between Mozambique and Taiwan, the caring heart, we can complete this reconstruction program successfully. So you see this picture, the local volunteer, they have no chance to come back to Taiwan to meet Master Zhen, but they just share their love from this picture and the information. And while Master Zhen sees this hardship, she says it's like the leaf of the Bodhisattva of the tree. So just like the tree leaf. You can see here there are some important names, some important people join this program. We can see on the left-hand side is our Tzu Chi volunteer, and up there is the Kura Dai village and the reconstruction committee, and also our supervisor and our vendor. We can see next picture here from the PowerPoint. You see all these volunteers. This is their very first time to join this kind of important ceremony, and they try their best to do the decoration. We are grateful that we have our Erica. She learns to decorate it and do it perfect. for her very first time. And from this picture, we can see some important people, our visitant. We can see the deputy minister and the chairman and the state secretary. And that day, we have more than 22 reporters to join us to this ceremony. Before we start our activity, we also have a traditional prayer, and the local chef, helped us with this. And you can see the next picture. This is the sheriff and the principal of our supervisor company. And they are sharing the design ideal, how we design our Da'ai village. And after this report, everybody visits the two sample house. There are two different kinds, but all the visitants, after they see the quality of the sample house, they are grateful. And besides Tzu Chi, besides us, there are also some other charity to helping them to rebuild the house, but they say our quality is the best. From these two pictures, we can see they find the golden shovels and to prepare the groundbreaking ceremony. And this is the local tradition there, and they also invite their sheriff to join this ceremony. And next picture, you can see they prepare the red ribbons and the golden shelf. Actually, is a tradition. It's an Asian tradition, but they just combine the local tradition and the Asian tradition together for this groundbreaking ceremony. Besides this, they also have a plan. This is a tree planting plan. We combine it together with our groundbreaking ceremony. Besides build the house, build the schools, we also plant trees because it's hope. It's the seed of hope. And from this plant, we can tell local people how important it is to protect the environment. So it's not just protect the environment, it's also protect ourselves. So our descendants, they can enjoy and have a better future.
好的，戴琳要注意时间哦，感恩是，谢谢。好多的故事。
And we can also
传统舞蹈哦，大家可以看到他们身上带的是我们的爱心大米哦的袋子哦。那来跟大家分享。
We can also see the people here. The children, they have the Jingse Aphrodisians, and they shared what they learned from the Jingse Aphrodisian. And
那而且我们马普托的志工也愿意移居到这里哦。
The volunteer in Maputo. I would like to mention that the volunteers from Maputo, first, they don't understand local language, but they still moved together with us to join this Da'ai village reconstruction program. So we can see our Tzu Chi's flag in Africa. We are really grateful. And thank you for listening and give me the chance to share the program, how we devote ourselves with the reconstruction committee. Thank you today. Tzu Chi always devote ourselves at the first, and we will leave the local place at the least. And we never stopped our career. And thank you for sharing us the program. Do you know the house we built for them for local people? They are the best quality in local. Because we remember our Master Jane tell us if we would like to do, we have to do it the best. That's why we built the Dai village with caring heart. And now, we can see the feedback from some people from Malaysia. The feedback from Malaysia, they say it's great to join as the online study group from Kaohsiung. And we also have the feedback from Canada. And our volunteer from Canada, she says that we have very good quality from our online study, Kaohsiung online study. So we can feel how much you input yourself in this study group. And we have the feedback from Thailand and from Taiwan and from Laos. And our volunteer shouts from Canada. She gives us the feedback. And she says that, and we also have the good feedback from Penang, Malaysia. He would like to wish Master Jane a long life and health. So, our Tzu Chi family, we have so many volunteers all over the world. It's very grateful, and today is also the date our Mr. Zhen Yuan she went to Taipei for our year-end prayer. Our volunteer Xiu, she says it's very grateful we can hear the good feedback from different language. And thank you and your team. We are recruiting more people in different language to join as we need your attending. We also have a volunteer. She is on her way to Taipei, and meanwhile, she's listening to our online studying. Thank you. And we have one more feedback sharing that Dharma as water, so it's the good chance to clarify our mind by listening the wisdom advertisements, our Tzu Chi advertisement. And if you don't have the chance to join us the live, you can watch or listen afterward. Ring, she's the volunteer from Malaysia. And Shijing is a volunteer from the US.
She said everyone's contribution is grateful and happy and energetic. Thank you for your feedback in English. Everyone devote themselves in this group for the Kaohsiung study online group, and we also thanks to all the volunteers join us with caring heart. We have the volunteer from Jiangsu, from Dutchland, from mainland China. We have feedback from our volunteer. She's grateful to hear the good feedback in the program report from Mozambique. Thank you. Thanks to our volunteer, Miss Cai Dailin. And we also have the feedback from mainland China from our volunteer Tzu Chi, and she would like to thank our volunteer Miss Cai Dailin bring us the good news from Mozambique. And now, I would like to share you the good news that we have recruited the lotus, the donation for our vaccination. We have more than 35,000 now. So thank you so much. I'm really grateful. And we need your love, and we need you to invite the people surrounding to join us. And thank you for our editor groups too. And thanks to all of our document volunteer. And now we get the feedback from our we can see during this trip back to Hualien, to our Tzu Chi abode, we get the good feedback from everyone. We also have a book that is telling the story and the influence of 50 cents. And we can see the feedback from our volunteer last week. And our volunteer, Mr. Wu Jinghui, he shared his experience how to join Tzu Chi in 2020, and he told his story from and about his parents and how his family influenced him. But due to this, he has the good karmic condition to join our volunteer team because he has the chance to know Tzu Chi. And he says everything has been settled down. So everything you suffer is for helping people and who has the same experience as you. So everything's happening with its reason. So he is grateful now. Due to this experience of suffering, he knows how people feel, and he can be more sympathy to people who has the same feeling. And there's still many things to learn. He said he learned a lot and he gets many blessings from the volunteers from our Kaohsiung studying group. And thanks to our volunteer team from Kaohsiung, Gangshan, and Qiaotou. He says our volunteer in Gangshan and Qiaotou always carrying him and try their best to help him. So he is very grateful. This is the feedback from our volunteer, Mr. Chen Congming. And we can see another feedback from our volunteer, Miss Liu Junshuo. She says, everybody likes the water lily, the lotus flower, and everybody blooms beautifully like the lotus. But we can see everyone has their own story, and maybe it's not a happy one, but thanks to this story, thanks to this experience, and make their life blooming. And she shared us her story, and she's grateful that everybody shared their own story from the studying group, so she gets the good feedback and can be energetic again to face the problem of life. We do really thank you, all of you are willing to sharing us your experience and give us good feedback every time after our activities. And our volunteer, she also gave us a feedback. She joins the studying group and she joined us to go back to Hualien to meet our master Zhen. And we would like let's have a look at the volunteer Mr. He Meihui. She joined us our online group.
好，感恩哈，现场还有所有线上的书友哈，大家早上好哈。那我是李慧妙哈，那上人赐予的法号是新妙。那我今天导读的进度是那里主机春之卷2021 1月25到1月31哈。那主题是重创精神不偏离哈。其实在做这个篇幅的时候呢，我看了好多次，我一直真的抓不到重点。那我在想重创的精神到底是在哪里？结果呢，就忽然间想到呢，这个地方感恩师姐，这个卷轴我不知道各位有没有，这个是慈济40周年庆的时候，我也不晓得为什么不小心我就把它请回家了。然后请回家以后，讲实在我真的没有，师姐帮我抽出来，我还真的没有很认真，我就看到一张这样黄黄的，然后因为15年前嘛，那时候刚进慈济，讲实在的，真的还不是很清楚，那人家就说要请购呢，师姐帮我这样看。后来呢，我才知道说，原来呢，
And this is the very first like a publication of Tzu Chi. And let's take a look at this. And I feel very touched as I saw this, because I realized that, and this is very important, and this is just a created record for us that we can really find out, what Tzu Chi has done in a period of time. And do you know that, this is the wisdom that we can just, find in this record. And I'm very grateful. And this is just do it. Okay. And above this, and we can just do it.
And we can see this is the newspaper. We can see the newspaper here. This is the reprint of our Tzu Chi from Canary Medical.
那这也看到呢，这个是师父呢送给弟子的一个祝福。所以呢，底下呢，我们的师公写的这些，他说佛法是以离苦得乐为宗，解脱其生死苦迫，成为要着。这个是师公上人对我们上人的一个祝福哈。然后让我更感动的是他旁边的一个发刊词里面，我想这个应该是上人写的，这几个字让我真的很感动。他说：“我们的篇幅不大，但是我们绝不浪费一行一字去说那个无益于人、无利于事的话，今后也绝不违背主旨与用意，去做那无关潜移默化、无关慈悲济世的事。”其实看到这段话的时候，我把它真的是深深的放在心里。我想，我可不可以发一个愿？从今以后，我不浪费任何的一分一秒，去说那无益于人、无利于事的话。今后我也不会违背上人给予弟子的主旨跟慈济的宗旨，去做那些无关潜移默化、无关慈悲济世的话。所以我觉得这段虽然是上人给予这个月刊的一个期许，我觉得也是给予所有我们慈济人的一个主旨。然后呢，我们可以看到它上面有很多好人好事的报道。上面呢有一个许淑清师姐，那也看了这个文稿呢，我才知道哦，原来许淑清师姐呢，她就是当年呢上人到花莲呢，帮助她非常大的许聪明老先生的女儿。哇，真的是慈善的一家人哈。那也就是这样的报道，我们可以看到，包括现在大爱台报道好人很多的师兄师姐的故事，其实就是希望这样一个孝母能够带动更多人一起来行善。好，那包括底下，其实他当年的这个月刊是为了去那个征信，所以很多人啊，你捐了多少钱？这个就是我们在上人一直告诫弟子的诚正信实哈。好，那包括呢，你看我们的金社每个月呢，我支出多少，用的多少的收支情形，一一都会写在上面哈。来，接下来我们来看这段影片哈，月刊历史的严格。
那时候花莲东部是很贫穷的，
我们要救济苦难的每一笔捐款，必须要有一个东西可以让大家看得到。可能在你妈妈都还没出生的年代，那时候捐款就是5元10元。功德会成立14个月的时候就创办了月刊。那大概前12、13年，月刊它就是属于一个征信的功能。
以前这本刊物其实是报道女性的活动的一个刊物，是讲怎么样来聚集女力来做一个好事情。那这些女人走出家门之后，她除了说她自己人生观，就是说可能她自己评估，后来是见苦知福以外，另外一面她也去学到跟上人身边学到很多访视的技巧。
1980年代开始，因为慈济要建医院，为了要让社会大众知道建院的理念，所以就跨出花莲，然后那月刊也因此就是画出了征信的格局。一直到1998年，大爱电视台开台了，然后那慈济月刊那时候就是说，我们一个平面媒体，我们要怎么样让我们的读者心灵上的成长，或是说对慈济的脉动更加了解，所以我们月刊它也必须要做一个转型，所以大概在这个时候，月刊就变成一个全才的。我们希望大家可以看到这个社会上面黑暗的角落，需要帮助的角落。
我们大量记录了 平凡人当中的那份不平凡特质，在这50年，
所以这个目标其实跟最早你创办月刊的时候希望净化人心，其实是没有改变的。
我想这样的一个月刊呢，它一直在延续，不管它用什么样的形态，包括现在成了电子版，包括大爱电视台，它这样的一个精神理念呢，50几年来一直都没有变哈。那在1月25号呢，上人跟美国慈济人的一个谈话里面也讲到，慈善就像一个大水缸，只要需要的人都可以来舀里面的水，但是如何让这样的水源是源源不断，就需要更多人愿意展现无私的大爱哈，然后呢才有办法去帮助更多世间的苦难人哈。接下来我们来看这个影片。
On the other hand, it requires people pairing up, so these things will never dry. And now we can see this, and this image they.
这些影像来自慈济基金会国际赈灾场景，难民流亡路线上，慈济志工在；余震废墟旁，慈济志工在；风灾后的死城里，慈济志工也在。这些画面不是宣传，而是慈济志工烙印在心坎上。
All of us, we believe everyone should try their best to do their duty. So I'm so proud.
每次我看完这些影片，我都觉得我好骄傲，我是慈济人。虽然我没有到海外去，虽然我没有到赈灾的现场去，但是好感恩，我是慈济人。我相信那个点点滴滴都有我一点点的心力的祝福。所以呢，我想这样的本分是烙印在每个慈济人。
Because all of us, we devote ourselves and we are devote ourselves and we are learning the spirit of a bunch of rice dumpling. Because no matter what we have done, we follow the four major missions.
他说他最近说，我想起education and the culture， 就觉得自己非常的棒。
Sometimes
自己一个加油打气的一个力量。为什么上人会觉得自己很棒呢？他说呢，他所谓的很棒呢，是因为呢，我在过去生中呢，有跟大家结好缘。那我相信呢，这个也是上人告诫我们的，未成佛前要先结好人缘。所以呢，4大志业就如同4个兄弟一样，不分家。那师父还在，我们都是第1代的弟子。第1代的弟子巩固，才能谦虚，才能永续千秋。然后每次看到这段话，其实肩膀还是有点重重的。我在想，我是上人，我是慈济的第1代弟子，我有没有办法真的很遵从这样的理念？也期许自己能够朝这个方向更努力。感恩大家。
好，非常的感恩哈，是不是非常精准的这10分钟？我们已经特别的剪辑这10分钟，为往后我们在跨步这里哈。你看看这样的一个简报，有没有很有质感？我们要去找资料，还真的很难找哎。好，你要花很多的时间，可是我们的
And every one of us, we have this positive energy to be able to share with others. And I also make vow to Master Cheng Yuan that we want to follow Master Cheng Yuan's. Although we have the big aspiration, but we are not afraid. Sister Dalin in Mozambique, she worked very hard to help the needy. It's very touching what she has done in Mozambique. And Nathan from Cambodia, we see that Mozambique. Sister Dalin in Mozambique, she the rice we expecting her rice to grow in Mozambique, and Sister Shodru in the locally in Kaohsiung, she say there's love, there's hope. And Sister Mimam, she say Sister Dalin is like a bodhisattva. She is beautiful and her heart is beautiful too. And we're very grateful that Sister May, we were able to listen to Sister Dalin's sharing in Mozambique. I'm from mainland China. She is. She say she enjoys seeing the smile of Sister Dalin in Mozambique. Her smile is very sweet. And the message in Mozambique, we are able to see the embodiment of Master Zhenyan's teaching in the far, far land.
We can just see the Lotus Sutra growing one by one in the dust. So now let's go back to our PowerPoint here. Then everybody, you don't need to be really awesome, then you begin. But you have to begin, then you can be awesome someday. And let's just, set out now. And I don't care where you are, as long as you have your own aspiration and you are willing to begin, then just tell us. Then we can begin in our group, right? Although you are not a professional at all, we don't care. So, we really expect that you can just begin your like a professionalism in multiple languages, and we can just do something and spread the Dharma. And you can see that we have the catchy phrases from all over the world. And today we are going to be talking about them, in Canada and in 2020. And let's go back to 2014. Explosion happened in Kaohsiung. Then we have a team from the US went over there, and they are really, really impressed. And they are wondering like why Tzu Chi volunteers were so energetic. And then they begin to get to know us. And after that, and the catchy phrase team from Canada just write on their own catchy phrases describing us. And as I saw it, and I just rushed immediately and just get the feedback there. And they are so surprised and impressed. And therefore, they came over to Kaohsiung and saw our team, and she knew how we worked, and she was again surprised. And I just, begin inviting her to join our like a catchy phrase team. And she immediately says yes as a team in Canada. And it is really a wonderful experience, right? And on her way to work, okay, which is far away, and they just begin listening to our like online study group Kaohsiung for 3 times a week, and write down the catchy phrase about what she saw and about the whole week content. And if she did not insist on this, then today we don't have such a wonderful team. And let's read our catchy phrase team, and let's try to know them. And we have like a Guoliang Jun from Canada, and they say that we are really diligent and we are really professional, and we deliver the great love, and we care about all the victims in the fire in Kaohsiung. And let's go to like Changchun, like Liu Chunzi. And she says that, the French volunteers are really wonderful, and they are really, touched. Keeping in touch with Mr. Zheng Yan, and let's study together and purify people's mind. And we have a professor Wu Jinhui from Tzu Chi University, and he says that we are just as lucky as we are because we can follow up like Mr. Zheng Yan's Dharma. And we have the Yilin from China, and she says that we are fearless because we follow out the Bodhisattva path, life after life. And we just put our like 4 major missions into our daily life, and this is really wonderful. And we have a visitation team, and we care about others with Tzu Chi, like a great love. And do you think that everybody is getting better and better? And now let's go to New Jersey, United States. And they not only write down the catchy phrase in English, but also they have to do the records. So, this is wonderful. So let's call out to friends, and they have like a great love to care about all the victims there, and let's study all together, and we can just pass on all the difficulties. And we have Wu Jinhui, and he is a doctor, and he just come back to the Tzu Chi University and deliver his great love, and all together globally. And we have the Yilin who does the volunteer for us, and we have the good neighbor in Gangshan, and they care about all the elders around us, and they happy they learned. And we also have the great love that we are compassionate toward all the beings, and we also have like Li Xiuchuan who cares about the fires in Kaohsiung, and they spread the love to calm people's mind down. So do you think this is very, very focused on the concentration of the content last week? So let's give them a big hand, please. Say thank you to our Catchy Fresh team. You are so wonderful here. And as they just listen up to any content, they just make the records and try their best to do that in the catchy phrase. So, please, be proud of us, and we are a very, very warm team. And today, do you see the PowerPoint? And we talk about the professionalism. And today, our guest is very important for you ladies. And today we're gonna talk about the new treatment on uterine fibroids. And when you see the posters here, then we will be happy that and we have a lot of editors like on the PowerPoint, as you can see. And we do the beautiful posters because of their dedication. And let's see like how wonderful this doctor is. And on the screen, we see a grandmom caring for his little young baby. But without our doctors, then maybe this image would not have happened. And actually, the women just suffered from, and I really had a kind of a frequent urination, and I got a tumor in my ovary, and when I went to the doctors, and I didn't receive any effects there. Therefore, I went to Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital, and we give them some chemicals inside her belly around 90 minutes, and we keep the temperature of the liquid warm up to 41 to 43 degrees. So we can use the temperature and make the chemical therapy more effective. So Mrs. Zhang's tumor got shrinked just really healthily, and this is a very, very good remedy for women suffering from such diseases like ovarian cancers or stomach cancer. So through the treatments, Mrs. Zhang recovers very well, and she really appreciated Dr. Xu really much. And I can be reborn, and I'm very, very grateful towards you. I was pessimistic, and I'm lucky enough that I had you in my life. So I really, really carry my sincere gratitude toward you, because so my son is named Liu Juan, which is carrying gratitude toward you, Dr. Xu. And from this poster, then we can see how hardworking he is. And let's talk about the urination part. And some ladies just get like a wet bedding, when as they are walking. So how many times do you go to the bathroom at night? Oh, I go there once every hour. In winter, and I got more urination. So in the past, this is a very embarrassing problem, and a lot of women don't receive like a good effects. And today, we have like a non-invasive treatment, which is very effective to the women there. And in women's vagina, then we got some like fibers inside, and we activate all the cells, and so we rebuild the vitality of like a lady's vagina to make them really healthier. So it helps in their frequent urination. So I think this is a very, very practical information for ladies who are kind of older. And today we have a professional doctor with us today. And please get online. And sometimes, so we just give a little bit help and we can transform their lives into better ones. Okay, especially today, our information is really, really practical for ladies, okay, who have such problems, right? If you go to the right doctors, then you are really lucky and solve, ladies' problems. And that is why Dr. Xu, is here today. And we are looking forward to receiving more information and knowing more. And if you feel uncomfortable, you can just take some painkillers. And the pregnant lady, ask about the COVID-19 problems and the vaccine. And this is very important, right, for any pregnant women, whether they have to take the COVID-19 vaccination or not. And Dr. Xu has been asked about this for many times. And today, so let's have Dr. Xu with us today. And he is from Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital. And today, let's say we are lucky that we like to be with you because you have a positive energy. So Dr. Xu, please. And today, we have a Dr. Xu with us. And thank you for coming, getting online today here. You are so busy and we occupy, 30 minutes of your working time. And thank you for taking care of ladies for us. And today, please, share your information with us. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am Junshuo, Dr. Junshuo. I'm a director of Obstetrics and Gynecology of Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital. And today we're going to be talking about the new trends in the treatment of the uterine fibroids. And this is a very common problem for ladies. And today we're going to be talking about whether you need operations or you just take medicines. And today, I'm going to be having my report today all about this. And today we talk about the uterine fibroids and how you're going to be treating, such disease. And this is a really common problems for ladies. And it happens in women around 20%, okay, in middle-aged women. And as your age grow, and the possibility also increases. Okay, like a 45 to 50% for more aged ladies. And we have like a high percent of the possibilities that, the like a fibroids would occur. And usually you don't need like operations because they will just wither, they will just shrink naturally. And 80% of the women's wombs that have a fibroids inside, and they are tiny as 20 millimeters, but they will grow by 10% yearly. And in the United States, like 20 to 40% of the fibroids would be cut because they were diagnosed as like a uterine fibroids. So we have a variety of treatment for such like a uterine fibroids. And today, I'm focused on this, like whether operations is needed or you need like a further treatment. So first, let's talk about like what kind of a lady may have the fibroids. Most commonly, and it happens mostly when women have their first period. And because pregnant women look have a high percentages of the hormone, so it is more likely for them to have such a symptom here. So your fibroids may grow. And for menopause ladies, and it is very, very less likely that they have like a fibroids because of the lower hormones. Okay, so they will remain the same. And for the period, okay, for ladies, a period that comes earlier, and because in the fat that contains a lot of hormone, so it will help the fibroid to grow. And there are the possibilities that help the uterine fibroid to grow. And for women who have less exercise and more smoking, and it is very dangerous for them because it also increases the danger of the fibroid. And we also needed to concentrate on the progesterone, okay, and all the pesticider thing here in our environment, and it is really, really very likely that you have a uterine fibrosis there. And also, food would also cause such thing to happen. If you eat a lot of raw fish roll, like shrimp eggs or crab rolls, and this is very, very likely to have the uterine fibroids. And again, as I mentioned, the plasticizer is also something dangerous. Like if women get in touch with a plastic products, like plastic bags, like a shower gel, or a lot of materials made of plastic, or a soap, like shampoos. They all have plasticizers in that, so it causes a possibility for uterine fibroids to grow. Okay, although it is kind of gradual, but it would happen. And if you eat meat, or you eat hams, or you have alcohol, and it is kind of a risk factor too. And if you can absorb vegetables or vitamin A, like a soybean milk, right? And they are okay, but for soybean milk, they contain also a little of the risk factors for uterine fibroids, because it has somehow kind of predecessors in that. Okay, and let's talk about this kind of chemical named DEP. Then you will see them mostly in perfumes or cosmetics. Okay, and they are the products that may be banned in some countries, and including the United States. Okay, as well as Taiwan in recent years, right? And some products which are especially good smelling, they have some kind of a DEP inside, which may affect our health for you ladies fibroids to grow. And let's take a look at the fibroids. And here we have one that is out of our ovary, okay, or inside a womb. And also we have a tumor, okay, around the cervical part, and they will cause a different symptoms in different places. And you can see we have three kinds of different fibroids. We have fibroids around your mucosa and your serosa and the muscle layer. And they will just cause a lot of problems, including a lack of blood there. And some mucosal fibroids, and in this case, the fibroids are growing inside the uterine space, which is the cavity where a body grows during pregnancy. Think of the growth extending down into the empty spaces in the middle of the uterus. And we also have the intramural fibroids. And these fibroids are embedded into the wall of the uterine itself. And picture the size of the uterus as the walls of the house. The fibroids are growing inside the mucosal wall. And we also have some serosal like a fibroids, like located. They are located on the outside part of the uterus at this time. And these fibroids are connected closely to the outside wall of the uterine. And you can see all the pictures of the fibroids. And maybe in like ladies, like inside of their wombs, and they have so many like fibroids there. And if the symptom gets serious, then we will think of like a cut to warm off, okay? And what kind of ladies need such treatments? And treatments for uterine fibroids can vary depending on the age, desire for pregnancy, percentage of malignant size, number, and the locations of the fibroids, as well as what symptoms they are causing. And if you only experience any symptoms from your fibroids, you may not need treatments. And we also consider your like age, and if you are like around 80, 90, and this is a very like a dangerous period of time. Okay, and if for like aged ladies, and the best treatment option for them will also depend on their future fertility goals. And if they want to have children in the future, like some treatment options may not be an option for you. Well, for ladies who already, get away like are aware of the menopause and the fibroids still grow, and we have to say this may be like problems that we needed to concentrate on. So we have to continue tracking on these fibroids. And whether they need treatments or options depends on different women's like a physical situation, depending on, for example, your ages, their ages, and the growth rate of their fibroids. And how many treatments do we have for such like a fibroids? Okay. Well, and we can like have number one, like a follow up on a regular basis, and we also have medications. Okay, and we just take a medicine and keep tracking on that until it just gets shrinks. And number three, then we can have the uterine artery embolization, and we can just have the kind of treatments that just decreases the blood offering, and the fibroids may just get shrinks by itself. And we also have like a Da Vinci surgery here, and we also have the laparoscopy. Okay, and if the fibroid location is pretty weird, then maybe then we have some other like treatments. And we have the latest HIFU. HIFU means like a high. Okay, this is a HIFU. Okay, and we have that. Okay, symptoms, and we can just cause a lot of like blood problems, like a lack of blood for ladies. Okay.
And we can also consider the. We can also consider taking medication, and we could stop the bleeding, and also we could also have a GnRP. It's a hormone agonist, and it would also help us stop bleeding. And when you have the treatment, the medication would take via injection, and sometimes you might grow osteoporosis when you take this medication. And also after you stop taking the medication, you might the fibroid might grow back. So on some for people for women who were before menopause, they could take this GnRH. It's a hormone agonist. They would naturally grow into menopause. That would be natural. But for younger women, we sometimes we would reevaluate whether they are suitable for this treatment. And also we have another treatment for surgical treatment, and you could have hysterectomy. Hysterectomy is to remove the whole uterus, and if you only remove the fibroid itself, you would it's very possible that the fibroid will grow back. So if it depends, the treatment option will depends on whether you you are planning to have to give birth to children in the future, and before the you're having period, your uterus will enlarge, and so there's a hormone, and if there's the location is in the uterus, we will go through the vagina and the cervix to have the surgery, so that you won't see an incision. Your ab won't be cut open, and you won't see incision, or you won't see scar on your ab. So there's another option is in endometrial ablation. Endometrial ablation. This treatment that you could it would there's ablation on your internal uterus wall, and you can use this kind of treatment repeatedly, and until you reach the menopause, the hormones start decreasing, and the fibroid will shrink automatically on itself. And there are many kinds of surgical. And on the D, we could use the laparoscopy myomectomy to remove the fibroid, and we could also use the transcervical resectable. It's called TCR. It's a surgical treatment that is useful for observing the uterus cavity and resecting the intrauterine tumors. And there's another kind that you won't see incision, is the vagina hysterectomy. Your uterus is removed through an incision on the top of your vagina. There's no external incision. These the laparoscopy myomectomy, you would use a small tube to go through your belly button, and this incision is very, very limited, and that's and you will be able to see that from this abdominal surgical procedure, and you could be able to see the vaginal hysterectomy. You won't see the incision on your ab. And the vagina hysterectomy, your uterus moves through an incision on top of your vagina. There's no external incision, and these soft stitches are placed inside the vagina, most commonly used in the use of uterus prolapse and the other malignant conditions. Fewest complications and fastest recovery because you don't see incision, because people many women they do not want to see incision in on their app. So this is their first choice is vaginal hysterectomy. And we will be able to see that there are many kinds of various surgical treatment. The traditional abdominal myomectomy through laparotomy, and also there's laparoscopy myomectomy, and also the vaginal hysterectomy, and the recovery periods are various, and the vaginal hysterectomy are the least are the treatment that you don't need to stay in the hospital for you need to stay in the hospital for only 3 to 4 days, and it's the least painful treatment. And also, and there's an intrauterine adhesion. This intrauterine adhesion, this is during this procedure, an incision is made in your ab, and the fibroid are removed through this larger cut. So you will be able to see the incision on your ab. But because of your condition, if there is severe adhesion, you only have this option, that is a laparotomy. And the HIFU, HIFU. You use the MRI to locate where the fibroid is. Before you is executing FIFO treatment, prepares MRI aspirant patient position is necessary to allocate the exact anatomically position and the tissue composition of the uterus fibroid. When we evaluate the uterus fibroid and the target volume, as well as the accessibility of the FIFO beam is made, and then the target volume is defined, it is then syndicated step by step as cluster, or so-called the treatment cell 4 to 16 millimeter in diameter. And due to the acceleratory movement of the ultrasound probe, as well as using dynamic focus of the 5-foot beam in the outward movement and concentrating circles, making the volumetric sonication, these predetermined treatment cells can be feasible. So So there's a fivefold treatment, and when you have the if you use this you want to use this fivefold, you have to pay on your own from your own pocket about 160,000 NT dollars to $200,000, and the comparison of this treatment for the fivefold treatment is an ultrasound treatment, and you won't see any incision or wound. That's the benefit of fivefold. And you will still have the function of the uterus and your ovary, and you don't need to stay in the hospital for too many days. You only need to be hospitalized for 3 days. But it's expensive. You have to pay out of your own pocket. And this fivefold is not suitable for women who has cancer. And this treatment is newer. And then the last, and the uterus fibroid, most of women with fibroid don't need any surgical treatment, because the rate of it would turn into cancer. The rate is around 0.3%. And when you have symptom, you will have to start treatment. And also, there's another option is surgical treatment. And surgical treatment, you have to if you cannot stop bleeding, you have heavy bleeding when you have your period, and you start losing too much blood, you have to use surgical treatment. And it would depends on the location of the fibroid and to choose the suitable treatment. And if we have to evaluate whether there's adhesion. If there's adhesion, we need to use consider other treatment. And there is a fivefold option. And in the next year, we will use a fivefold in Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital in probably next January or next February. And this fivefold, you don't need to go through like a surgical procedure. You won't be able to see wound. You are not cut off on your app. And these are the symptoms of uterus fibroid and the treatment of introduction to the treatment. And I'm very grateful for your listening patiently.
Thank you very much for Dr. Xi's a wonderful presentation today. And I hope that on the screen that we can also take our images in Kaohsiung, and I want everyone that can see me. And here, Dr. Xi tells us also something that calms ourselves down. And we have such an operation named the HIFU in our hospital that can protect ladies just like us. And we, had the images later, like Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital, also make Mr. Zheng Yuan feel very, very peace. because they had a presentation in Hualien, and in there to safeguard more people's health, and all the hospitals would just do their best and provide as good treatments and remedy as possible they can. So we have some like messages here. Then we have like messages here saying that Dr. Xu gives like a wonderful presentation, and the women's problems are kind of embarrassing. And today, they learn much about whether they need operations or only like a medical treatments here. And also, I'm working out here, so would you please, just, let everybody see me and Dr. Xi, and maybe you cannot see us here in Kaohsiung, but now through our like online streaming, and maybe you can just watch the recap. And today we have Jinshu from Thailand saying that this is a very, very wonderful presentation, and it really solves our like personal problems, and we feel you a lot, and which eliminated obstacles in ladies like health and like a frequent urination, and this is also a very like impressive problems for ladies, and we won't go to the doctors unless the problem goes really serious. And we have one mission from Taipei. She says that he says that I am like a Dr. Xi's patient, and many years ago I was a training volunteer in Tzu Chi, and when I went back to Dalin, and I had an operation by you, and it hurt, and I just wouldn't like go to work, and because of Dr. Xi's treatment and the problems were finally solved, I'm so grateful to Dr. Xi here. And this is wonderful. This is a gratitude from Taipei toward Dr. Xi, and this is very professional, and we can know more about our own bodies and know how to treat our like personal problems. Okay, and in Tzu Chi is like a Dharma and missions, and we have a lot of professionalisms, and through our like sharing from the doctors, and we really learn a lot. And so it is very wonderful if you can just like share our like online study group, okay, with all the people around you. And let me say this, Dr. Xi has a very wonderful voice, and I enjoy listening to him. And Dr. Xi to sing? No, I don't actually. But your voice is beautiful. And I like your voice, and it really makes a lot of people feel comfortable, when we are listening to you. Thank you very much, Dr. Xi. And please dump for us and share this great information around you. Okay, then we have Andy, and we also have messages from Mongolia, and we have Dennis Chai that really cultivate and spread great love in Africa, and this is really infinity love. And we have Meilan say that Hui Miao is wonderful because he describes how Master Zheng Yun walks the Bodhisattva path, and let's seize every moment, well, and do the best we can. And here, and Hui Miao, please, okay, reply the messages, right? And we have messages from Yunnan, and we have a granny from Yunnan, and she is always online with us every Wednesday, and I'm very grateful. And we have listener from Pingdong, and he says that okay, Hui Miao is a really wonderful presenter that does very much, and through his like a guiding presentation. And I'm sure that your wonderful presentation will help Mr. Zheng Yun spread the great love and the Dharma. And we also have like a wonderful catchy fresh team, and it also really briefly conveys the main idea of the whole content in our group here. And here is the next messages, and we have Yu Mei, and you share wonderful information about like Dr. Xi Junshuo. And this is an interesting topic. And we are able to hear directly from Dr. Xu. And he is very kind and share his medical profession with us. And this is kind of wonderful sharing, and Dr. Xu makes it easy for all of us as the listeners, and we can understand some kind of professionalism. And we have a Shi Jin saying that, okay, wonderful, like a presentation today, and we hear this is in an easy way. Okay, and if you are good, if I am good, then everybody just can be good. So we can, form all the power as a very wonderful aspiration, and then we can begin our Bodhisattva path. Remember, you are good, and I'm good, so everybody can be good. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, spread this information for me, and we are trying our best to find someone, okay, who can speak like different languages, like Spanish, like French, and we need you. Then we have Chen Linjin saying that Li Huimiao really aspires our original aspiration. And let's just do something that benefits the world, and let's just say something that also benefits the world. And we also have Guan Xinling from Canada saying that we have like airplanes and 4 major missions, that we all need to just do as good as much as we can in every second of our life. And this is really precise and the brief. And now, ladies and gentlemen, okay, it's our exercise time. So we have a wonderful exercise here, and we have a team that performs a very wonderful show. Oh, Xiuhui, are you doing some exercise? Yeah, today, we have a volunteer in the hospital, and we need to be all talented here. Oh, as a medical volunteer, you have to be passionate, and you have to carry love, and you have to also arrange your time and do a lot of chores in a hospital, and also you need your family member support. You are talking about me, and I'm a volunteer every week in a Dalin Tzu Chi hospital. And besides, and I heard that as a volunteer, and it is a very, very wonderful, like a Earth Treasure Sutra just in front of us. You know that the suffering, okay, is very, very, annoying for us, right? So we have to seize every moment in our life and do good. Okay, so let's seize the chance and just do something, okay, and benefit the society. So let's carry smile, and let's speak a good words, and let's also be quick. And we have to do something and act it out, and we can cultivate the blessings. So now, ladies, let's go. And now, ladies and gentlemen, globally, please stand up and let's exercise and stretch out.
志气，人生路本来就无好行。
阮行到自在的门口埕，才知影爱的力量这呢啊大。为着要予你有笑容，阮变10岁半的武艺，予你看。
真心的爱是上好的力量。
我咧看你笑，阮就感恩啊。God bless you， 元气呢，安自细你就保重啊。看医生无顾家己，地球生命。
看着护士无勇敢，无照三顿食。
赶紧来切水果，甲金针花保药啊！杯内底800项，10项嘛需要阮行头。自这心，自这路，朋友快乐的时间做道场。阮的双手甲你来行人生路，自这人，自这情，全球的之间，甲你博感情，不惊大，不惊大，咱来合唱生命的歌。
We are the medical volunteers and are involved to be the protectors of all the volunteers. And now, let's dance with the washing hands song.
洗手歌，大家一起来好吗？
好，
感恩。One, two, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
1、2、3、4、5。Are you ready?
Wash your hands.
做的动作4遍。
别太大，弄湿双手不偷懒。洗之前要关掉，珍惜你我水资源。拿肥皂搓又搓，沾满泡泡画个圈，沾满泡泡画个圈。
来哦，大家一起来做好事哦。人多力大不就大哦。1、2、3、4。2、2、3、4。右洗手，
双手相连互相搓，
手背，
手心搓完手背搓，
手心，
右手洗完换左手，10只交错来回搓。
1、2、1、2、3。1、2、1、2、3。
接着手指转手心，拇指虎口别忘记，
这个动作
开
3
水冲手别太强，接着碰水洗开关。
嘿，来哦，老命姐老汤到底来。
1、2、3、4、5。Are you ready？ 大家一起来。个人卫生要养成，人见人爱好过敏，随时洗手来健康，慈爱爱人在一米。Go go！
Let's practice a vegetarian and protect the land.
Thank you very much for the activity team. Give us this very good exercise.
团队光活动组团队也是有20个人哈。那呢，请导播 take 我的画面哈。
Because of the COVID-19, the regulation for the COVID-19 now is getting a little bit better. So we are able to invite more participants to join the online study group on site. So the book that I'm carrying, the author is a volunteer, Huang Yongchun. He wrote a very good book, and many students and many people were inspired by the book. And the story he talked about is his experience that he did a contribution at the Tzu Chi family. And like our volunteer in Thailand, she appreciate the volunteer Huang Yongchun's effort. So she ordered some books and would like to give away to the participants who attend the online study group. And volunteer Huang Yongchun, he said that a good handwriting presents a person's character. So it's very important that we learn how to make a good handwriting. And so we hopefully more and more participants can come back to the bookstore to join the study group. And now let me respond to some message that we just received. Like the volunteer from China, he said that we really appreciate Master Zheng Yan's wisdom, and so we can have the chance, we can have the opportunity to join the online study group. So we have many different team members, and but we work together. We just want to give a very good presentation and to have everyone to enjoy the study group. And like the elder volunteer in Yunnan, even you are so far away, but we feel we actually will get together. So now from the screen, you can see some feedbacks. Actually, those feedbacks were written from the participants in China, and they always give us the feedback right away after the online study group. And oh well, I make the mistake that I misplaced Chen Lingjun's feedback. This was his last week's feedback. Sorry, but I will do it again next week. So let's go through the feedback from Wang Hui. She said that she liked to enjoy reading, and she collected books, over 2,000 books. And she was impressed. And although the COVID-19 the study group that she handled had discontinued for a while because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but they were going to restart very soon. And although there are only very little volunteer participant, the study group, but they still did their best to inspire people. And Wang Hui, there's another feedback, and she mentioned about the sharing of volunteer Zhu Jingcai from Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a very poor country, and she is impressed about the Zhu Jingcai because due to the time difference, Zhu Jingcai was get on online when it was 3 o'clock local time in the morning. And because Zhu Jingcai had contracted the COVID-19 virus, and because he talked too much about his story, so the main content that he prepared actually was not presented. And Wang Hui was very touched when she heard about Zhu Jingcai's sharing, and because Zimbabwe is so poor that even after he had contracted COVID-19, there was no hospital for him to go and to take the treatment. And he thought he might die. And but he told his wife, and he made a wish that even for the next life, he will still want to work with Tzu Chi and continue to work on the Bodhisattva. So now we're going to call out to China. So where are we going? So we're going to Jilin. So this is a video telling us that it was a very cold weather with the strong wind. So it's very difficult to put the relief supplies on the ground. So although it's a very cold weather, but we still can inspire people. So like the volunteer here, they were inspired, and the students and the residents, they all come to help to make all the distributed material in the right place. Even they hurt, they still do the contribution. So the Tzu Chi volunteer paid a visit to the residents, to the volunteer, and then later realized that actually the volunteer was the victim of the disaster too. So the Tzu Chi volunteer was very touched. We are very touched that the people can be inspired after we provided relief distribution. So now we're going to call out. So we're going to watch another video. It's another video telling us that the temperature is under minus 10 degrees Celsius. And the volunteer Liu Juan, she said that the temperature was very cold, but our heart was very warm. Many helpers actually are the victims who suffered from the flood in July. And the volunteers said that we feel grateful that we have a very good organization like Tzu Chi came to here to help us. And thank you very much for everything that you have done for us. If I talk about there was an entrepreneur who owned 7 car vehicles, and this volunteer is going to get online next week. So this is the bookstore in Changchun. We're going to hold aid distribution here. So you can see it's a very cold weather. And many volunteers from different cities, they join the relief work. And now there's another video talking about the Tzu Chi volunteers paid a visit to the residents because Master Zhenyan told us that we have to promote the vegetarian meal. So Tzu Chi volunteers went to residents' house and used their kitchen to cook vegetarian meal to show the demonstration. And because they are very good at cooking, so they didn't take much time, and then they can make a very delicious meal. So volunteer Liu Juan, she said that you have to learn how to make a vegetarian meal because it's very important. And hopefully the whole family can join us into enjoying the vegetarian meal. Not only help them to cook the vegetarian meal, but we also bring the Tzu Chi monthly magazine, Jingzi Everything, and to share with the residents. So we are going to call out to volunteer Liu Juan. So let's say the password. I'd like to stay with you because you have positive energy. Oh. Can you hear me? Yeah, we can hear you. Now you may start your sharing. So everyone, good day. I am a volunteer in Jilin. My name is Liu Juan, and my topic of sharing today is pay love forward. And in 2021, there were 2 severe floods in 7 days in Yongji city of Jilin province. And the Tzu Chi volunteers immediately provide love and care to the residents. So we provided 13 large scale of aid distribution, and about 24,000 people will benefit. With a very cold weather, we wore a heavy vest to provide the supplies to the people in need. With the firm mind and the determination, I joined the volunteer training courses and learned Dharma teaching diligently and become a certified commissioner. And then we have a care recipient, Kong Hui, who had a leukemia disease. And she received a bone marrow transplant in 2019. And Tzu Chi volunteers continue to look after her. But unfortunately, she passed away in February of 2020. And because of the COVID-19 pandemic, her family couldn't come to Changchun to handle the funeral. So Tzu Chi volunteers make the funeral arrangement, and her mom became our new care recipient. So her mom, Zhang Xiufeng, became our new care recipient. And then we start to care this care recipient. We brought vegetable, fruits, magazine, and mask to her. She said that I'm a Christian and I did not want to convert to Buddhism. But we told her that we are one family. All the religions have the same goal, which is to spread the great love. And she said that yes, even during the COVID-19 pandemic, you guys paid a visit to hospital to look at my daughter and help the funeral. I was very touched and appreciate. So ever since we invite her to join the Tzu Chi activity. And there was one woman told a story about she lost her husband, daughter, and almost lost his life because of the floods. So after joining Tzu Chi activity, her life changed. And Zhang Xiufeng was touched and told us that she lost her parents when she was young, and she was abused by her first husband. So the hatred and the grief and the loss of her daughter caused her health problem. We told her to let it go because forgive others is to treat ourselves well. So we invited her to join Tzu Chi to spread the love together. And in order to help her to relieve the pain of losing her daughter, we help her to move to other place and help to clean the new house. So she was touched. And later on, she said that the Tzu Chi volunteers care and love just like her mom. So we invited her to watch Master Zeng Yan's teaching. We teach her sign language, and we brought handmade shoes and spend time together to celebrate the holidays. And she finally inspired. She told us that she and her ex-husband owned a land, and then the land was divided into the two parts because of divorce. But she received the worst part of the land, and this made her so furious that she would like to kill her ex-husband. But we asked her to transform her mind by reading Tzu Chi monthly magazine and the Tzu Chi aphorism. So every week, she drove the car to pick up all the recyclable items and also talk about Tzu Chi's love and to share with others. Although it took us 40 minutes to get to a remote area to promote environmental protection, and even she had a car sick problem, but she still stayed with us and joined the promotion of environmental protection and the vegetarian meal. So we work together and we promote the 5R slogan and about how to do the environmental protection and how to reduce the volume of the garbage. We also work together to promote the vegetarian meal. So with the interaction, everyone is very joyful. So the residents also inspired, and then they start to accumulate all the recyclable items, and then they donate it to Tzu Chi. They also start to put a coin of the bank. And some people donate money from selling the old clothes or donate money from their part-time job. So everyone learned the contentment, gratitude, understanding, and forgiveness, and less complaint. So during the lockdown COVID-19 pandemic, Tzu Chi Foundation donated masks, heartwarming packages, and vegetable and fruits to the people in need. So all the receivers appreciate our dedication, and we receive so much positive feedbacks. Because of the flood disaster, we plant the seed of the goodness, and we are glad to see that it is growing now. And we all will continue to study hard and be repentant and follow Master Zeng Yan's step life after life. So this is my sharing today. Thank you for everyone. Thank you, Master Zeng Yan. Thank you all the family in the world. So let's give her a big hand. Thank you much. Thank you very much.
Okay, and thanks to Dr. Xi's like a presentation that solve a women's problem. And we also have a message saying that, it is wonderful to hear that with like fibroids like that, and we don't need operations. And this is very, very good information for us. And yeah, Shi Jing Wenjing says that the catchphrase is wonderful, and it is also wonderful if we can see that. And we have Li Jing from Malaysia says that she is always with us every Wednesday morning, and this is kind of grateful for us. And this is really wonderful, and we have like Hui Zhang says that we can have like a wonderful information, and we care more about ourselves. And now let's come back here and to my PowerPoint. And do you see this guy here? And he's a pilot, and he is also a captain. And after his sharing last time, and we received so many feedbacks. And he is from Pingdong, and he cannot come over here today to Kaohsiung. And he is, where is he? Do you know that? He's in the quarantine hospital. And last time when he shared information with us, and he was in Canada, and now he's in Taiwan, but he can't come over, okay? And I suggest that coming to Kaohsiung and visit his mother, but sorry, okay, he's quarantined now. And this is his positive feedback last time, and we felt very wonderful. And let's take a ritual here. And we are very grateful toward the editorial team, okay, and we can just document all the records all together. And here, okay, and it records about Ali and Ji Hui's guide reading, and we are really more impressed because it teaches us like how to adopt a vegetarianism smoothly, and we can really have a kind of wonderful records and the documents all together. So this is kind of wonderful addition, okay, and it really records, records the history of Tzu Chi here, and we can also share good informations, and they are useful. And it is really heartwarming that we can have such a great team here. Not only I personally, but also every team member feel this way. And we also promote Jinshi dishes. And this is wonderful. And a lot of listeners also have a very good impression toward today's main hero here. And we have his mother here. Okay, and I don't know whether the mother is gonna be seeing his own son in Taipei or not. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. And we have the mother here and Dengxian. Okay, you are in a quarantine hotel and your mom is here. I think you can see your mother. Okay, and if you can the right machine, then maybe you can see the image of your mom. And mom, please say something. Hello. Hi. Hi, Dengxian. I'm your mother. Hey, mom, how are you? And we are the relatives and friends from Pingdong. And I bring over 10 volunteers coming here to Kaohsiung, and we are here to cheer you up. And we hope that you can have a wonderful presentation and bring positive energy to everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, please wave your hand and say hello to Dengxian. And right here, I believe that our program director can just catch the images of you and all the volunteers here. And of course, Dengxian can see everybody here. And Dengxian, and your mom is here, volunteers are here. And we have a great team over here in Kaohsiung. We have a man-made great delicious food here, sharing with everybody here. And it is very grateful that we have such thing here. So I'm very grateful that all the volunteers coming here to the Kaohsiung's online study group feel very, very lucky. Okay, so in the future, whenever you pass by Kaohsiung Jinshi Hall, and you can just get in and participate, be part of us. So ladies and gentlemen, okay, I like to be with you because you have a positive energy. Ladies and gentlemen, Ye Dengxian, please. Thank you. Thank you. And Teacher Mei Yun. And this is a very special year. And I'm in a quarantine hotel. and I'm online and sharing my presentation with you here. And every time when I hear teacher Mei Yun's voice, I feel really positive energy full of my body here. And especially this is kind of a period of a pandemic, and I especially need the positive energy here. And if you have a good heart and you have a great positive energy, and it is a lucky life. So every time, whenever I can just get online with you, online study group Kaohsiung, I just feel content. And ladies and gentlemen, and good morning. And I'm Dengxian, and my Dharma name is Liu Juan. I'm very happy that I can stay here in the quarantine hotel and get online. And within this period of time, and I experienced the quarantine, and I experienced the difficulty for my job. Okay, what's in my mind, and today I really want to share what I think in mind. Like I have like a five like a major like impacts in my mind during the pandemic. I think you can see my PowerPoint here. And you can see the number 110 and number 54. And what do they mean? And here, before I begin sharing my presentation, I like to share you my flight schedule here. And so I show you the two numbers, 110, and this is the days that I have been quarantined. 54 means I was checked the PCR 54 times. It is not a short period of time, and online, if you have done PCR tests, you will realize how you feel after you've completed doing so. Just 1 hour ago, I experienced like one more time of a PCR. And so the number should be 55 for now. It is a very, very kind of a common thing that I have to experience during this period of time. And when I watched the TV, and I saw Tzu Chi, okay, playing this piece of news about me. And I am very grateful toward the Tzu Chi, the Inca woman. And the news is about like the airplane crew panel, okay, are fatigued during the pandemic. And actually, through a lot of media's reports, and the audience may feel fear. And without, when we watch the news every day, and when we receive the information like how many are infected and how many pass away due to the pandemic, and it will lead to fear, it will cause fear toward all the audience. And when I am under quarantine and I lose my freedom, and I have to always stay in the hotel room 24 hours a day. If I get away from the room, it is illegal. So I lost, contemporary my freedom, and I feel alone and lonely. And thanks to all the social medias, that I can still keep in touch through it. And we are the focus, okay, on TV news during the pandemic. And I don't want to repeat all the negative news toward us. And they worry the society. Well, and we lose the confirmation, and we lose, the reputation that we should have owned before. And maybe you don't understand. And let me tell you this. And we were supported, we were reported illegal by 90% neighbors. And it brought a lot of pressure to our crew members. And I think you must doubt that, Dengxian. So what is your worry now? And maybe you feel interested. And I prepare a band for you. And we also produce ourselves a song. And please play this song for me. And the name is The Smiling Sky. The wind is freezing cold, and I feel a little bit nervous. And the rain drizzling. The way home is a bit long. Let me carry an umbrella for you and shine a way ahead for you. We are stepped on the moonlight, and we are firm. The sky smiles because of you. The sky smiles because this is the place we grow up. The sky smiles because of me. The sky smiles because it's the paradise of a dream. You can believe. The harvest that we grow up together. I like to be with you. And we can make our dream come true together. Let me hold your hand by my shoulder, and let's go straight forward and fly in the sky. The sky smiles because of you. The sky smiles because this is the place we grow up. The sky smiles because of me. The sky smiles because this is a paradise of my dream. The sky smiles because of you. The sky smiles because this is a place where we grow up. The sky smiles because of me. The sky smiles because this is a paradise of our dream. The sky smiles because of you. The sky smiles because this is a place where we grow up. The sky smiles because of me. The sky smiles because this is a paradise of our dream. And this song is written for all the crew members that are steadily working for our society and our company. And thank you very much for playing the song. And this film, okay, it talks about a Boeing 777 pilot. And I feel especially touched whenever I hear this song. And you can see that after our flight, and you will just witness that how hard we work. And did you ever notice there's a scene in the MV that in our cabinet, and we know that 50% of our cabinet were turned into cargo cabinet. And because of the pandemic, and we lose our passengers, and we had to do this. And crew members have to just move the cargoes onto the cabinet. It is very, very touching. And whenever I see this, then I will just walk toward all the panels, all the crew members, and say thank you to them. And next, I'm going to share with you my own emotion that when you are faced with such a change, and what can you do? I think the only thing is that you can change your mindset. And can you think about this? And how are we going to change our mindset? And therefore, I am going to share with you my ups and downs, my emotion during the pandemic period of time. And okay, and let me tell you, I always cherish all the affinity and cultivate my mind through all the things that happen around me. So I can just cultivate myself through all the things that are happening around me. Well, I feel anguish, I feel anger during this pandemic. And I was like a quarantine in my own hotel room. What can I do? And a lot of people try to watch YouTube and the movies, but they are just entertainment, helpless to change your own mindset. So here, I especially feel very, 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 touched about what I just mentioned. And let me share with you about this. And I cherish all the affinity and cultivate myself. Thanks to Mr. Zheng Yan, who says that everything that happens can be a great affinity as a cultivation of our own mind. And also, just like an online study group, Kaohsiung, and our local community study group, and a lot of groups that I participate. And as I begin my preparation about all the study groups, And I have to repeatedly read the Dharma that the Master Zheng gives. And through all the repeated like a practice of a preparation, I absorb the Dharma water. And what is happiness? Happiness means that we can have a group of volunteers who share the same goal, and we can all together work toward it. And it is a very good way for us to make our wisdom grow. It is very touching. I still remember a volunteer, and she says that it is okay, Tzu Chi is without me, but we can't live without Tzu Chi. So, without affinity of Tzu Chi, that calms our mind. I don't think during this pandemic of time, during my quarantine, I can calm myself down and abide my own mindset in the Dharma. So every day when I'm quarantined here, I still feel full of energy. And again, I want to say, I always practice my own heart through everything that happens around me. Master Zheng says that let's not escape from everything that happened. And if we accept the bad karma retribution, then we will just pass it in a happy way. And, I am a pilot, and everybody may want us to be quarantined to make everyone happy in the society. And in my mind, I have to say, why not? I think this is my way as a contribution to the society. So I'm doing this. So through the quarantine, I can calm myself down and cherish the love from the volunteers and my family members. And as I experience such thing, and it comes to my mind a Jin's aphorism that says that if you want the people to open up your mind, then maybe you are the key to open up your mind. And if you open it up, then it is a way that happiness comes. Well, I feel that this is the water, the Dharma of water that I absorb. And through the quarantine, it is something that is happening on me, and I can train my own mind through this. And this, I also received a news report, and I was influenced negatively on my way to work. And I forgot, I forgot, to slow down while I was driving. And unfortunately, I got a ticket from the police, okay? And I paid the money, okay, very, very reluctantly, because, my wife says, we can use such money to support the vaccination. Well, and it reminds me that I should have followed up the traffic rules. So I can also cultivate my own mind everywhere when everything happened. Master Zheng Yan says that, okay, we have to train our mindset everywhere, every moment. So we can just make our like a natural, we can make our nature appear. Well, a lot of people feel doubt about the flight crew members. And in the past, there's an average of 1,500 young people coming to our airline to be the crew members or flight attendants. But the number decreases dramatically now. Young people became annoyed, and I feel so down, upset toward this. So, but now at this period of time, I'm so grateful to my parents, to my wife, and to my volunteers here. And I feel the love, and I sense my value in my life, and I do everything I should to benefit the society. And this is very, very touching for me. I think if I can do something valuable, then it is the value of my life. So I can cultivate my mind everywhere, anytime. So as I began my training program, I made a note, and I like to share my note again with everybody here. Okay, nothing is difficult. Difficult comes in our own mind.
We'll have to start the long distance journey, start from one step by one step. And we have to offer our earnest passion. And we need to put effort as a habit. And we also need to abide to the discipline and regulation. And the third is the patience and the bearings of all the pressures. And the fourth is the we need to work hard, and we need to continue learning and learning even the Dharma that we heard before. We can, every time we hear the Dharma again, we will have a new understanding. And the next one is that we need to calm ourselves down, and we need to have a confidence, and we need to evaluate the risk factors, and we need to cautiously to see clearly our direction. And Master Zheng Yan says about there's three. Master Zheng Yan has teachings that I touch my heart. I don't seek for the health of my physical body. I only hope that I have a clear spirited and wisdom to see, to interact with the world. I don't seek for everything that is favorable to me. I only seek for the courage to when I encounter challenges, I don't seek for a lesson of the responsibility. I only hope that I could have more power to shoulder more responsibilities. And if I can do something, if I can contribute something to help the society and to in this this pandemic situation, we could encourage ourselves that we need to look up to the sky, to repent ourselves. And when we look down to the ground, we need to evaluate what's the true meaning of our life. Because the life is so beautiful, we need to fill up our life with goodness, and we also need to fill up our life with joy and gratitude. If we fill up our life just to like I myself before I filled up my life with I just delicacies. I enjoy good food. Now I repent myself, reevaluate the value of my life. I want to fill up my life with gratitude. I want to fill up my life with beauty and beauty of goodness. Thank you, Brother Dengxian. Please conclude your sharing within a minute. If you are rich in the material life, and your spirit and your mind will be empty. And there's when you see the picture, you will be able to see that I took this picture in Taitung. When we are safe, we need to be grateful that so many people in the society make the contribution to and every one of us is so important in the society to work together to make this a society a safe place. And I'm very grateful that I witnessed the first BNT arrival in Taiwan that purchased by Tzu Chi Foundation. And we can feel that your touchness and the up and down in your heart when you share with us. We can feel your emotion. And your mom is your biggest fan. She is now next to me. And she is maybe there's might be a glitch, a technical glitch in the hotel, and there's a technical glitch. Although there's technical glitch, during your sharing, we can still feel your heart through your sharing. And these the videos and when we listen to the sound from EVA Airway, we were very touched, and we want to be able to receive the video, but the video has the copyright from EVA Airway. So we are very touched to be able to hear the song. That's very encouraging. And we're very grateful that we listened to the pilot Ye Dengxian to do his sharing. His sharing is carrying us fly on the sky. Our spirit going are encouraged by his sharing, and the sun is smiling. The sky is smiling. It's very touching. Let's give a big round of applause to Brother.
Thank you. And let's go straight to the last unit. Okay, and this is the relay promotion of the Tzu Chi event. And ladies and gentlemen, and today I'm going to share with you my experience, my happy experience working into the school promoting Pagamo. And we can just, cultivate our blessings all together. And there are so many students in Xinshan Elementary School. And, they have 1,768 students in our school. And do you know how many plastic bags they use every day for breakfast? Thank you very much. Okay. And thank you for Tzu Chi. And we have a project of a warrior that protects the environment and prevents the disaster. And we really want to promote that idea to prevent the disaster from happening. And we know that the children enjoy online video games. So we combine the ideas all together. And well, think about this. If you don't play video online games like Pagamos, what can you do? So if we can play the online video games together, then we can give you the guidance on how to get online and how to play the games together. And here are the pictures that we show you when we just get into school playing online games together. And here are the students from the very preliminary games to the World Cup, regardless of the age and identities, and everybody can be just part of us. And here on the right of the blue part, and this is the game in Taiwan. And you can just come and join us until November 5th, right? So everybody is more than welcome to be part with us. And thanks to all the volunteers in Kaohsiung, and I visited more than 42 schools and promoted such video Pokemon games. And we also promoted such ideas in schools for more than 84 presentations. And we promote vegetarianism and the environmental protection. And we also participated in their school games. And we invite the school students coming over to Junshuo and know more about the protection environment protections. So thanks to Mr. Zheng Yan and all the volunteers in the world. And Pagamo is a skillful means for us to get into schools and community. And it is our duty to do it, to say it, talk about it, and promote the Pagamo. So I have to say thank you, everybody, again. And ladies and gentlemen, on May 19th, and we just, because of the pandemic, COVID-19, so our online study group, was therefore moved to the international conference room. At that time, we didn't have anybody there. And actually, I was, in an audio control room because, I have to work there. So I had to deal with all the trivials there. And, once, teacher Mei Yun's microphone was out of order, and so we can't hear her voice. And there's also, a chance that, the microphone was just broken one more time. And I thought that I should be busy, in the control room. So I didn't care very much about my hairstyle. However, unfortunately, I was filmed. Okay, so people just saw my like a terrible appearance, like a mess hairstyle at that time. Okay, and I had to deal with all the trivials, right, including like a PowerPoint and the briefings, right. And I care about their voices and the images. And usually, I deal with such trivials, and sometimes, the internet got disconnected. Okay, but when we were just, trying, okay, trying to get online, and the internet just got problems. And usually, I also had to use my walkie-talkies, and I talk about very much about it. I just want to say that technology is useful, but technology is sometimes a problem. Okay, and like a teacher Mei Yun's husband is like a Jiang Zuren, and he was always like a cold. Okay, and he just told like teacher Mei Yun to just calm down. Okay, we had all the problems, but we still had to calm down. And we also got an experience that we got like disconnected from the internet, and we got the images, but we lost the voice, and sometimes we got the voice and we lost the images, and such all the problems just happen all around before you exactly get online and participate in our online study group Kaohsiung. So I have to say, we face all the challenges here, and we thanks to all the technologists and all the volunteers here, and I learned very much, and I feel happy. That's all. Thank you. So you still see the images here in the like audio control room. Okay, during the pandemic, we couldn't have many people working with us, but we still had to deal with a lot of the things and problems. And I got worried, and I just got really annoyed. Okay, and I just shouted at Jiang Zuren, and I shouted at him, and why? Because he's my husband. Okay, right. Yeah, I couldn't do this to others because volunteers may just leave me. Okay. And the Jiang Zuren says that, okay, he said, okay, I quit. And of course, I said, no way. Right. Well, this is a very kind of interesting experience during the pandemic, right? And you see so many people in the audio room, okay? And because, our pandemic are getting, getting better now. Okay. So here, I really thank, to everybody. And this is a platform that we can just learn very much all together here. And here we have a noise out. And please listen to the Star Eye News online. And it is super great. Okay, and you use your podcast and try to get online and listen to the radio conference and the radio news here. So please get online. And we just combine like a podcast and the Da Ai radio. Okay, and please, okay, use it. Okay, and here let me promote you the like a Jingshi, like a products here, and good news here. I think we have the papaya enzyme liquid, and it is new, and you can purchase it. Okay, so very soon, and we are out of stock. But today, let me tell you the secret. Okay, we have these items here, and if you buy like 8 bottles, it costs only $7,200, and we give you 10% of discount. And today, I'm gonna purchase such liquid. And who is gonna be carrying all the liquids home? Of course, like Jiang Zuren will. Okay, so in any like a Jingshi bookstore, you can just purchase such a great papaya enzyme liquid, because you can only purchase such thing once a year. Masters in Jingshi abode say that okay, the product's quality is even better this year. And we also promote you the fiber juice, and it is really nutritious. And after we drink the juice from Jinshi abode, and my husband just say, "Oh, it tastes just great," because it aids like a soybean milk powder, and you can also add some coffee, and you feel this is just wonderful. And inside it, we have spinach, and we have like a sweet potato leaves here. And this is very great if you can eat more like gram powder, and you will feel good. And we have like two different flavors. The one is a sweet flavor, and the other is a sugar-free flavor. And this is a new cookie. This tastes wonderful. They are delicious. And anyway, well, the pandemic is going fine now, so you can all come over to the Jinshi bookstore and purchase some products, and they are really environmentally friendly. And now it is during, the first period, the first stage of Mr. Zheng Yuan's journey in Taipei. And if we can have more love, we can have more lights, which means that we can shine the world with our goodness and the love. And this is the calendar 2022. So I think it is great that we can have the calendar, right? So next week, next Wednesday, then we will have a Yu Zhicheng, and we will have a. Okay, so next week, I'm wrong. This is my mistake, all right? So next week again, then we will have Chen Mingzhe and Li Ruibi next week. And he would talk about his relief, like experience, relief distribution experience in China. And we are looking forward to his presentation next time. So thank you very much. And we will have a Superintendent Zhao. Okay, we will have great doctors, doing wonderful sharings with us. And you are more than welcome to get online with us, right? Every Wednesday morning, okay? And you are so wonderful. I like to be with you because you have a positive energy. And here is a message which says that I just came there to have my tears out. And because of a pandemic, and we really carry a lot of misunderstanding toward like pilots and the crew members, right? And today, I think, I learned one more thing, okay? Thanks to Dengxian's sharing about your like a cultivation of your own mind during the quarantine period of time. So every Wednesday, you are more than welcome to participate with us. Please stand up, everybody. Arm together, 3 bows to Buddha and the Master Zheng Yan. First bow, second bow, third bow. Thank you.